Hi, this is Little Dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can, and I continue with Call of Cthulhu blind, still exploring the tunnels underneath the Hawkins mansion.
A disfigured saint. What does it mean?
I just wanted to check if maybe Pierce would have said something new after the reconstruction, but apparently not. Okay, so let's go with Bradley. Anything to say? It's almost like he's borderline bugged, just standing in place. Well, it's weird that he didn't. He was looking down for a really long time and didn't say a word. Are you okay? Huh. Yeah, that's actually kind of creepy. He's, stonewalling me. Still nothing to say?
Of course.
And something tells me that the key is climbing these steps. There's tunnels all over this island. Given the size of this cave, there's gotta be other entrances.
The passage continues further down. Might as well start with that.
I ain't gonna squeeze in there. I'll find another way. If possible, I prefer not to ruin my uniform.
Fine. Go look for another entrance. I'll try my luck down below.
There was someone coming this way. Presumably maybe one of the cultists. So I guess he goes back up, and I'm supposed to go down. Are those like dream catchers?
Some kind of dream catcher.
Yeah.
If I touch it, it'll turn to dust.
So I guess... So these can't be like, I suppose, because the paintings, like on the rocks, might actually be very old and might be the remnants of the native, like cult that was very old. But the dreamcatchers themselves must be kind of new because they would have like rotten and turned to dust, pretty quickly. Wood, especially in like humid conditions, I would imagine it isn't too durable. Okay, it's like a statue of a thing. Like a snake, or some snake-like creature. Well, let's look at the paintings on the rocks.
This monstrous creature must be an allegory.
Well, I would be... To be honest, in this kind of a game, I would be surprised if it is. It's presumably very real. It's an actual, abomination.
These paintings must be several centuries old.
Disappeared tribe. Yeah, so the paintings themselves, I can believe them being a remnant of the native culture, but not the dreamcatchers. And obviously, those caves are currently used by the cult members. So, another painting of some kind of a creature. It's vaguely fish-like. It has, you know, a tail akin to a fish tail.
These people lying down, are they dead? Are they asleep?
Well, the dream catchers, but by association, seem to suggest sleeping as opposed to death. But I guess sleeping and death are kind of intrinsically connected as far as associations go.
These buildings seem to have come out of the water.
Yeah, because Relay, the place where Cthulhu himself is sleeping, it's actually a whole underwater city. And I think it's supposed to rise up if the planets align in a correct order. It's supposed to rise up from the depths. Okay, nobody in sight now. Okay, you know what? I'm going to break my rule. Well, break my rule. It isn't really a rule, but I'm just going to very quickly upgrade because I just earned 1 point, which is enough to upgrade my spot hidden to level 4. So I'm going to do that now instead of at the end of the episode, because obviously it might help uncover some new items along the way. So nobody in sight yet. But there's clearly people
Time
here.
has weakened these structures.
Because I've actually seen a person going deeper into the caves. And obviously there are candles and lanterns around, which wouldn't have burned for a really long time if nobody replenished the fuel.
I don't have time to search them all.
Well, you could search at least one of those bags to see what's inside. I feel like that's possibly relevant to the details of this case.
This oil again. What is it used for?
I would imagine either poisoning the enemies of the cult, or it's like a like it's used to enhance the visions. It's like a hallucinogenic. It has hallucinogenic properties. Again, this flame is pretty distinctly green. Oh, that's kind of trippy, because I'm not sure if it's intent, like, this looks like the part of the statue from before, like I don't know, a kind of a mouth with like a tongue or something, but it's sort of very subtly woven into the actual rock, so I'm not sure if it's supposed to be something that was actually carved by humans, or on purpose, or if it's something that the natural rock formations of this place are trippy in and of themselves. They took the properties of some creature sort of quote unquote naturally, reflecting the nature of this place.
What's going on here?
Pierce!
Keep your voice down. We're not alone.
Good God. What have you got me into?
We'll see. I'll go on. Try to go down on your side.
Yeah, there's a passage. I'll meet you at the bottom.
Okay, so it's very clearly inhabited. There are actual cultists down here, praying or something, conducting some kind of a ritual, which I'm sure I'm going to find out about later. I wonder if they can spot me from down there if I'm not careful. Okay, so they are either making a sacrifice or conducting some kind of a ritual, maybe to transform this person or, I don't know, do something. But they don't seem to be able to spot me. It's not from there. Whoa, wait, that's me again. This is the painting that the guy stole. That's pretty, that's pretty horrifying, to be honest. Not only to discover a painting of you that was painted by someone who wasn't supposed to even know you, but then to find out that it's apparently central to the activities of some twisted cult.
A table for sacrifice?
Fish. It's reminiscent of the
Mass grave.
It's reminiscent of the intro nightmare, where the voice referred to like fish viscera as a putrid offering.
Locked.
Okay.
I got it. Oh, I can't breathe. What?
A panic attack. Some situations and encounters will make you panic. Flee the place. So I wonder if he can kill himself if I stay in this place too long. It actually happened in Dark Corners of the Earth. And I found it kind of fitting.
No, damn it! I must find a way out of here.
Oh, there's one of the cultists there. But why is he just staring? Why isn't he doing anything? Well, maybe he isn't real. Like, I'm currently in such an agitated state that he might actually be a house nation.
Is it my turn?
Yes, it is time. You will soon be one of us, if your body and mind are ready.
I dream of it every night. I have constant visions. I am ready.
Good enough. Prove it to us.
It's like in my dream.
Well, I don't remember this part from the dream, to be honest. Although the beginning part with the fish viscera is indeed very similar, but I definitely don't remember the guys talking about initiating a new member.
It seems to have been used recently. Probably some sort of ritual.
I found this dagger in the tunnels underneath Hawkins Manor. Its owner left it behind when he went with the other hooded men. Or rather, hooded men. I'm pretty sure that's a mistake. Oh, my occult has increased, apparently. Iber Job. That's the book that the guy at the tavern was reading, which I assumed to be the Bible, but it didn't because of the Book of Job, or Hiob, or however you read his name in English. I don't actually know. Job sounds weird, but Job sounds even more weird. So in Polish, you would say Hiob. Like it actually starts with an H. So let's look at it.
I can't read Latin.
Oh, Okay. But, oh, it's called Annotated Bible. So I guess it is a Bible. It's just distorted to fit to the cult's views, which corroborates the earlier thing with the statue of Virgin Mary. It was like a Cthulhu-esque Virgin Mary with like tentacles and stuff. Okay, so this leads into the main chamber. I'm pretty sure they are going to notice me eventually. Like, it would be weird. Oh, wait. This is literally, I don't remember the part where they were talking, but this is literally the place from the dream, right? And there are those two sets of doors, one over there and the other one here. This is literally the same place. Which means that I assume Bradley is going to die because the policeman died in the vision. But then again, the vision said that I'm theoretically able to alter my destiny. Yeah, and this is the field of fish viscera from the dream. So Bradley's chances are not looking too great, to be honest, in my opinion. But again, the dream said something about me being able to alter my destiny, so maybe I will be able to save him. Okay, to be honest, out of the two locations, I think the other one is more secluded, at least a little bit. Compared to how easily they would be able to spot me. It's a little bit farther away. Oh, I guess no bueno. I have to go through here.
You who sleeps, accept this dreamer under your immortal wing.
Ya Cthulhu Nithsiha Fitagan.
Grant him your flesh and accept his, so that his body and yours may be one.
Yibithink Hupadk Cthulhu Bithinkor.
Grant him your mind and accept his, so that his mind and yours may be one.
Yeloig Hupadk Cthulhu Loigna.
Grant him your dreams and accept his, so that the paths of your souls finally intertwine.
Yor El Cthulhu Kashag.
Okay, excuse me, I have to pause for a second. It's a little bit of an inopportune time, but I really have to, so be right back. Okay, I'm back. I know that was a really unfortunate moment to stop, but I really had to take that call, so let's return to witnessing the ritual of whatever.
Yor El Cthulhu Bogshug.
Let your dreamers open the way, so that the day finally comes when you will awaken.
La Cthulhu Nafal Fatagan.
Okay, I think they are done. At least for now, so let me proceed. Now, they are actually praying directly to Cthulhu, the most famous of the Lovecraftian Great Old Ones. Although the statues themselves are kind of weirdly generic. Like, I wouldn't have guessed just from the statues that they are still supposed to depict Cthulhu. They are.
I feel him.
You are gifted indeed. Not another word. Let him pass through every part of you. All you who sleep, we pray for your return into the kingdom of the earth.
Cthulhu
I wouldn't have guessed it's Cthulhu because it's kind of almost like generic. There isn't much distinguishing features in those statues, although I guess that might be kind of the point because, to be honest, the Great Old Ones are supposed to be incomprehensible, so even though there is this pretty solid like mental image of Cthulhu that many people have, which is pretty much akin to this, a giant, vaguely humanoid figure with like a cephalopod head. I feel like, in a way, it's almost a disservice to Cthulhu himself, so maybe it's actually wiser to render his statues in a very vague way. And this is a place from the dream where the voice mentioned a putrid offering, which is those piles of fish viscera. At least I really hope they are fish viscera and not human, but I guess I can't know for sure.
Bring me more sacred flesh.
It seems it's not really a sacrifice per se, it's an initiation rite for a new member. Although, knowing apocalyptic cults, being initiated into a cult might sometimes entail being sacrificed in the very same moment anyway, because, that's kind of how those cults work sometimes. Yeah, and they were the symbol that was on the piece of paper and also on the painting by Sarah Hawkins.
It looks like a kind of deep coma. What could this ritual have done to them?
So I guess they induce this deep sleep in the cultists, maybe to link their minds to Cthulhu, because as the Rite Master himself said, Cthulhu is sleeping, in relay, and maybe by falling into this trance, they hope to sort of commune with him.
Again, this primitive writing.
And the writing is actually, I think, the same that was on the statue of Saint Brendan back in the port, those green runes.
We are ready for the ceremony. What about your protege?
His awakening is complete. He will join you shortly.
Okay, no more comments from the cultists. I feel like it's pretty stupid to try and advance in their direction, because they would have to see me at some point, and attack me, and I don't even have a weapon. So, seeing how they are not saying anything else, I think I'm going to evacuate myself. Although, actually, that's interesting because this gate is actually the gate from the dream again, and once I cross it, Bradley is supposed to die, judging from the dream. So I wonder how it will go. Oh, let's see.
Bradley, what are you doing here?
I saw two odd-looking guys coming down. Seemed up to no good.
Yeah, I think he's toast.
What in the world is this?
An intruder!
Oh, shit! Don't move! Police! Don't move! I won't hesitate!
Bradley, get
to
back!
shoot.
Get back!
You asked for it! Charles, you shouldn't have seen this.
Well, so much for him. I guess I couldn't change destiny after all.
It's all caving in. I need to get out of here.
I don't really have time to sightsee, but it happened pretty much as it did in the dream. Nothing has changed, and it wasn't like I could have changed something because it was a cutscene. So, you know, I'm not really sure how could I have done anything differently.
My leg!
Well, but at least it has been confirmed that Charles Hawkins is indeed alive, and must be in quite higher position in this cult because he's already like heavily mutated, which I would imagine is a sign of favor among the cultists. So, but I guess that still leaves the question of Sarah Hawkins. Like, it's pretty evident that he tried to kill her
Light.
because she saw him with the cultists, but whether he succeeded is another matter. Chapter 5, Riverside Institute. Pierce and Officer Bradley followed the intruder to the secret meeting place of a cult set in a network of caves right under the Hawkins Manor. They witnessed a strange ceremony led by Charles Hawkins, very much alive. Bradley tried to arrest him, but Hawkins, whose body displayed various mutations, disemboweled the police officer. Pierce found himself a prisoner of Rockfall, rushed to the Riverside Institute. He is in a critical state. So is it an obligatory insane asylum level where Pierce tells them about the cult and they tell him that he's insane and they lock him up? Like, that's usually how it goes in those Lovecraft stories, you know. And even though there wasn't a well, it wasn't really a level. There was a bit in which the protagonist of the Dark Corners of the Earth game was in an insane asylum as well, but it was mostly a cutscene. There wasn't much action there, so I wonder how it'll go in this game. Judging from the fact it's a separate chapter and it's the whole name is after the Institute, I would imagine there would be some activities to be done there, but I guess we'll see soon enough.
Prepare another shot for injection.
No, that doesn't seem like a typical procedure.
He's having a seizure.
He will survive. Strong subject. There, he's opening his eyes.
You saved him, Fuller.
I can't get up.
Don't move, Pierce.
Wait.
You can certainly say that you gave us a scare.
Wait.
What did you do to me? Undo these straps!
Whoa, go easy, my friend.
You were dead. He killed you.
Are you sure he's better?
He was dead. Me too, we were dead. What are you doing?
I'm sorry, my friend.
What? No! What happened to me? Where am I?
Obviously, it's locked.
Mr. Sanders, you have to come with us.
No, please. I can't leave here.
You got no choice, Sanders, and neither do we.
You don't understand. If I go out, he'll see me. No! No!
You're leaving this cell.
Please. I don't want him to find me.
Who's him? I guess they are taking him away to conduct some experiments on him. This whole sequence was kind of interesting because, first of all, I really liked the pretty subtle, well, maybe not subtle, subtle is too strong a word, but there were those graphical distortions where the character models were becoming monsters, but only for like a second or so before they switched back into their normal looking human visage, which was cool because it was like, it was clearly noticeable, but it wasn't like prolonged contact. So I guess it was supposed to simulate Pierce sort of going in and out of those hallucinations and not being able to discern what's real, his perception of reality shifting in real time. It was a cool effect, and I would appreciate if it happened more throughout the game, especially if it happened in real time. It would be really cool to, like, if your perception of the environment changed, for example, from step to step, as you, or if you turn and then turn back, something is different. That would be cool. But what was also interesting is that Bradley is apparently alive, and he seems, he didn't at all confirm, or at least, he didn't allude to anything that Pierce saying to it being true, which makes me think that he's probably in on it, like he's a member of the cult maybe, or he's like friendly with them. Or I guess another possibility is that the part in which he died was a hallucination, and like it didn't really happen, the part in the cult chambers. But it seems less plausible to me because Pierce got those injections, and now they are pumping this room full of this gas, which
this foul gas again,
which I'm pretty sure has some connection to the supernatural part of the mythos. Like, I would imagine it's probably used to induce hallucinations or something, or like to lower the psychological defenses of a person, or maybe to even invoke mutations. I don't have much of a choice other than going to bed, so let's do that for now. Okay, that's interesting, because I'm in a totally different place now. Like, I'm not in a cell, not in an isolation cell, and I'm not strapped down, which seems weird for them not to take that precaution, because why would they let me go? It's obvious that it's in their interest to keep me locked up. I don't have my lighter. Doesn't look like there's anything valuable in here. Although, interestingly enough, I don't think Pierce was limping. while he was in the isolation cell, which is interesting because I would imagine he wouldn't limp in his own fantasy, but he would in reality, because he did limp, he did visibly limp even before the rockfall. Like, not before the rockfall itself, but before the final part, before he collapsed. He got injured.
They tracked and hunted me, pursued me right into their dreams. They scrawled all over their maps in the wake of my lonely wanderings.
Wait, that's the voice from the dream, the Leviathan. It's kind of creepy how they all sit up and perform those various gestures, but not speak at all.
No sea is dark enough to hide the color of my blood. No wind strong enough to scatter my dreams.
Well, the Leviathan has talked to me before, in that very dream in the beginning, and he said that I was chosen for something.
When the last of them rises up, you will choose. I will not be here to bear witness to it, because you will have released me. But the earth will resound to your cries, or theirs. Awaken and free me.
You there. Wake up. Come on, stand up. We don't have much time. Can you stand up?
Who are you?
A friend of Ethan Bradley. It was he who told me that you had been interned here.
Wait.
Wait,
Bradley
did he?
is really alive? I don't understand.
Don't understand either.
So full of drugs I can't distinguish dream from reality.
Please believe that I have nothing to do with these disgraceful treatments. Look, I don't have time to explain everything. I'm not really supposed to be here. And the same goes for you, according to Ethan. You must leave as soon as possible, and as unobtrusively as possible. I've brought you your clothes. Let me go ahead. We'll meet upstairs.
Wait a minute.
So I guess Bradley is on my side? He just, at least according to her, he just maybe didn't want to show it in front of the doctor? Okay, I guess out of all those questions, this is probably the most relevant for the time being.
I saw the nurses at work on a patient. It wouldn't be good for me to get caught.
You must avoid them at all costs. If someone found out that I released you from your room, I'd never find work in a hospital again.
So nice of you to worry about me like that.
Do not be unpleasant, Mr. Pierce. We must not stay here. There are 2 men standing guard near the stairs. It's the only way to the floor above. I shall try to distract them, and get at least one to come with me. All you need to do is to follow me as soon as the way is free.
Understood.
Okay, so now the part with the Leviathan was obviously a dream or a vision, because right after I was still in this isolation cell, which makes a lot more sense than them letting me to roam freely. Although it's interesting to me that now I'm not limping, and yet inside the vision, inside Pierce's own brain, I was. So for some reason he chose to see himself as disabled in that moment, which is weird. But let's go. Anything in the other cells? Nothing here, at least. There's a chair. Is it used for like securing the patient during like electroshock therapy or something? It isn't a very pleasant looking chair. It has those straps and whatever. Like, to be honest,
what does this mean?
To be honest, you know, early 20th century insane asylums are horrifying on their own, like even in the real world, without you know, Lovecraftian abominations and whatnot. The whole concept of psychiatry was just developing, and you know, the methods used were being developed. So most of the time, like they hardly even knew what they were doing, and many of the things that were being done to people could very much amount to mistreatment or even like borderline torture. Because, for example, there was this idea that submerging people in hot and freezing water alternatively could alleviate some mental symptoms. Of course, there was electroshock as well, which is actually still used in some very rare cases. But today, you know, nowadays it has been developed to such an extent, and the inner workings of the human brain have been understood to such an extent that it's no longer that dangerous or painful or anything. It's like, it's interesting because you'd think that something that this practice would be something that would have been discontinued, but instead it has been, you know, upgraded, and the understanding of it has become so refined that it's no longer considered to be a barbaric practice, but obviously it's a very different type of procedure than it was back in the day. Okay, so let's finally explore this cell. The paintings are cursed. Well, I probably would have known that on my own. It'll come for you. That's the cell from which they took the patient, who didn't want to leave it. You can't escape. And this is the elder sign. So Sarah. So he has painted all of his cell with the elder sign in hopes of staving off servants of the old ones. So I guess whoever he is a servant of the old ones that's supposed to be repelled by the elder sign. He sees me, he sees everything. The paintings are cursed. Okay, I don't think there's anything to be interacted with in the present, so let's go into the memory.
What did they inject him with?
Probably the same thing as they did with me.
Am I in an asylum?
Well, duh. That's a little bit of a simplistic observation coming from a private detective.
Sarah. What did he write about the painting?
It seems he's blind, and not naturally either. It seems like his eyes have been torn out because he has those extensive scars on his cheeks. It's pretty hardcore.
Sarah Hawkins is on this list of authorized visitors.
I guess that doesn't necessarily prove that she's alive at this moment, because she could have visited him before. After all, she's only been dead for like 3 or 4 months. Well, supposedly dead.
In his eyes, this symbol must have some protective virtues.
Yep, because it's the elder sign. let's continue. There's someone inside. Can we talk? Apparently not.
If I don't get out of here, I'll end up like him.
Well, at least I doubt he's dead, because they wouldn't have strapped down a corpse. He's probably in a coma or something. Or maybe just lying down, you know. After all, if you were strapped down securely enough, surely you would have gone tired after a bit of struggle.
Poor wretch.
Wow, that's a really unappetizing image of food. Like, what is it, even? Some kind of soup, but... well, let's maybe not dwell on that too much. Okay, you know what? This episode has actually been long enough, so, as usual, I am going to now read all of the new entries in the journal. If you're not interested in that, you can just skip the rest. So, let's go back to the previous chapter and read the additional passages. A heavy gate blocks the passage. I must find another way to get to the main cave. There's how many of them working in these caves? Are they all inhabitants of Darkwater? There's no doubt about it. The Hawkins knew. Bradley and I split up in order to explore the tunnels. Men dressed like monks occupy this place. They make me think of a secret society. I found the stolen painting, exposed between the two tables covered in dry blood. The person who stole it was waiting for me. He tried to stab me, and in the struggle we fell into a pit. The fall killed him. Where am I? Excuse me. It looks like a kind of religious cult. They are armed and very pious, therefore dangerous. I'd better not get caught. And then the Riverside Institute. I see Bradley being disemboweled by this man again. Was he really Charles Hawkins? My running away, the rockfall, being made prisoner under the rocks. Did somebody tend to me? Bradley is alive. Okay, this is very rambling. So it's kind of interesting and cool that it's very disjointed. The sentences are almost like not properly linked together, and it's supposed to represent his mind being not in the right place. What is this place? Some sort of an asylum? They took a man, and Bradley is alive. A woman has come to free me. She works here as a doctor. She says that she was sent by Bradley, that she will create a diversion to distract the guards so I can get to the floor above unnoticed. Can I trust her? In the cell of a patient they forcibly removed, the same symbol repeated over and over again, a star with some kind of branch at its center. The most astonishing thing is that the poor wretch was visited by Sarah Hawkins. What was their relationship? If I'll find him, will I learn more about the death of this enigmatic woman? Okay, and now Pierce. I've got 2 character points. I think I'm going to work towards upgrading investigation now. So I'll put the 2 points that I have into this. And sanity. And I've got a new entry in the ritual, although apparently I'm still stable. But there is plenty to go through. In the tunnels underneath the Hawkins mansion, Pierce witnessed the disemboweling of Officer Bradley by a man with monstrous appearance. The men in gowns and the ritual had not succeeded in affecting the veteran. However, the brutal death of Bradley, the discovery of the identity of his killer, whom he recognized as the dead Charles Hawkins, as well as the latter's superhuman strength, managed to strike fear into him. Pierce still does not know if he should believe what he saw. He may even put those visions of horror to the shock caused by the death of Bradley, or he might put it down to the lack of oxygen provoked by the rockfall. Okay, now Darkwater. There are 2 more. Oh, the entry for Charles Hawkins has changed. and his appearance as well, to reflect the new one that I saw. Charles Hawkins is alive, despite its crude and deformed appearance. This thing looked like Hawkins. He attacked Bradley after he recognized him. What could have happened to Charles on the night of the fire? I've never seen a major burns victim in such a state. Something's not right. You don't say. There's freaking tentacles growing out of his face, and he has like 4 eyes. Or maybe even more, because I don't know if there's anything more under the hood. So you don't say there's something not right with him. Mary Colden, 32, occupation doctor. Officer Bradley's female friend works as a general practitioner at the Riverside Institute. She had figured out long before I arrived that Fuller was involved in illegal activities. She wants to shed full light on the nature of his experiments and believes that helping me to solve the Hawkins case could advance her own investigation. Okay, nothing new in the places yet, so I guess I didn't get a note for the institute itself yet, but for the occult, I do have the disappeared tribe about the paintings in the cave. A tribe of men, worshippers of the sea and its benefits, landed on the shores of an island surrounded by dark waters. They were discovered by the creature some call the Devourer of Whales. Would that be the Leviathan from the vision? For years, the creature hunted them down into their dreams, until their weakened minds surrendered. Following the creature's orders, they sank into the dark waters surrounding the island and never came back. Extract taken from Malleus Bestiarum. Abigail G. So the Malleus... Wait. That doesn't make much sense, because Malleus is a hammer. It means the hammer in Latin. So it would mean something akin to like the hammer of beasts or something. It's an obvious reference to the real-life book Malleus Maleficarum, which was the hammer of witches. The Hammer of Evil or the Hammer of Witches. It was a book about, basically it was a guide for inquisitors, for witch hunters, as to how to detect and combat sorcery. So I guess this book would be a book about how to combat monsters. That's why it's called the Hammer of Beasts. Because at first I was a little confused, because there is the word malus or malum. Malum is evil in Latin, but malleus I think is hammer. Those are like similar words. Although I might be rambling at this point, I will check it and put the relevant info in the description. But I'm pretty sure this is supposed to mean it's either the Hammer of Beasts, which is the translation I would be more certain of. Alternatively, if I remember it wrong, it might be the Bestiary of Evil or something like that, which would be a more fitting name for that kind of a book to me. So I'll check it and put the relevant info in the description. Sleeping cultists. They are laid out on a frozen stone. One would say that they are dead, but their bodies do not decompose. Are they in some form of a coma? One thing is sure, these men were subjected to the type of treatment that changed their physical characteristics. I'm not sure that we can still call them men. Extract from the notebook of Edward Pierce. Okay, clues. Okay, so nothing new in chapter 4, just the underground antechamber. Whereas here, I have in the padded cell. In the cellars of the Riverside Institute, in one of the cells of the asylum, the same symbol, written in black chalk and repeated over and over again on the padded walls, does make one think. It's a representative of a 5-pointed star with in its center what could be a twig, a branch, or a feather. A few cryptic phrases accompany the drawings, but they do not seem to have a logical meaning. There is a mention of a look, a portal. Wait, was there? I didn't notice. Were they talking about a portal? and the painting. Finally, the patient's file, which fell when the guards tried to take him out, reveals that he received a visit from Sarah Hawkins. And my inventory, nothing new, just a lamp. Yeah, nothing new here either, those... Oh, wait, this is actually different than what showed to me. Like, Pierce said that he can't read Latin, so annotated Bible. An old Bible, numerous passages have been overwritten or annotated. Strange way to study the Holy Scriptures. Strange way indeed. Okay, so this episode has been long enough, so that's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!